Welcome all of you. The purpose of this course is to learn the capital and revenue items involved in the business. At the outset, let me introduce the course first. Being a learner, you should have known the nuances of the capital and revenue items involved in the business. As of you know pretty well, and every one of us know that each and every business firm in investing huge amount of capital, procuring the assets, constructing the buildings, purchasing the machinery and equipments, installing them for operational purpose, also procures materials and spend towards various expenses pertaining to this course, capital and revenue items. We should know what are all the items that are spent towards the various components, assets, and others, which will fetch a benefit, whether it is going to be continuous or a short term, for which we need to discriminate the items that are involved in the business. For such a purpose, this course is designed. At the end of this course, you will be able to know the considerations in determining the capital and revenue expenditures. And also you'll be able to understand the different items of capital and revenue expenditure and also the receipts. You will be able to differentiate the items of capital and revenue expenditure as well as the receipts. You will be able to analyze the transactions that are to be classified into capital and revenue items, identifying the items that are involved in the business. Let me introduce the topic now. The main objective of the accounting of business transactions is to ascertain the results of operation and the financial position of the business concern. The transactions carried on may yield benefit only for the current accounting period, or they may yield benefit for more than one accounting period. Items which are in the investments made will fetch the benefit more than one accounting period, may be long term, and less than one accounting period may be short term. According to matching principle, the expenses incurred in the current accounting period must be matched with the revenues earned during that period. In case of certain expenses, the benefit accrues only in the relevant accounting period. They are called revenue expenditures. For example, salaries, rent, etc. But in case of certain expenditure, the benefit extends beyond one accounting period. They are called capital expenditures. To exhibit a true and fair view of profitability and the state of affairs, the financial position, proper allocation of capital and revenue items is required. The revenue items are to be shown in the trading and P&L account, and the capitalized items are to be shown in the balance sheet. All of you know pretty well the items which are considered to be long term and the items which are considered to be short term. See, items wherein the investments are made and the benefits are going to be derived for more than one accounting period, say more than 12 months period, and suppose for 5 years or 10 years, will be known as the capital items. And the items in which the amount is invested and will be operated, and from out of that operation, any kind of income is received or expenditure is made, will be less than one accounting period, means revenue items. See, such kind of revenue and other items, we will see the investment in assets, the investments in the procurement of materials are different. In the assets, any investment is made, that asset will be operated till the end of its lifetime, so that it will fetch benefit more than one accounting period. Normally, the assets will be lying in the books of accounts as well as in the operation for more than one accounting period. Whereas the materials purchased will be used for the production process in the period itself for which it has been procured. And other items of expenses like, see, salaries, rent, or the example of revenue items are short term. Let us see the considerations in determining the capital and revenue expenditures. The basic considerations to differentiate between capital and revenue expenditures are: 1, the nature of business, right? The 2 is the effect on revenue generating capacity of business. And 3 is the purpose of expenditure for which it has been spent. And the materiality of the amount involved is the final consideration in determining the capital and revenue expenditures. Let us see one by one. What is the nature of business? See, the expenditure on purchase of goods is revenue expenditure. The expenditure on purchase of asset is capital expenditure. So purpose for which it has been procured is the major concern for determining the capital and revenue items. Whether an item of expenditure is goods or asset depends on the nature of business. See this, the goods include articles or commodities in which the business is dealing with. For example, for a trader dealing in furniture, the purchase of furniture is revenue expenditure, but for any other trade, the purchase of furniture should be treated as capital expenditure. And the purchase of furniture in terms of capital expenditure will be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet, whereas the purchase of furniture used for the resale or as a commodity or merchandise in a business firm which is selling the furniture only will be the purchases and shown on the debit side of trading account. Therefore, the nature of business is very important criteria in classifying the expenditure between the capital and revenue. The second is the effect on revenue generating capacity of the business. What are all the investments made, or what are all the items towards the amount is spent? That will be seen according to the effect on the revenue generating capacity of business. Factually speaks, every pi of rupee spent in a business is to make a revenue out of it. So in such a case, if expenditure helps to generate the income or revenue in current accounting period, it is revenue expenditure. On the other hand, if expenditure helps to generate revenue for more than one accounting period, it is termed to be the capital expenditure. And out of the capital expenditure, anything is derived for more than one accounting period and recorded as receipt will be capital receipt, and from out of the revenue expenditures, anything is realized less than one accounting period and recorded in the books of asset as a receipt will be known as revenue receipt. The purpose of expenditure, according to which, how would you classify the capital and revenue items? Do you understand? If expenditure is incurred in the normal course of maintenance of an asset, it is revenue expenditure. On the other hand, if expenditure is incurred for major repair of an asset which increases the productive capacity, is capital expenditure. And finally, we need to know the materiality of the amount involved. See, how much of the items which are spent towards the procurement of assets or the purchase of land or establishing any kind of properties or for such erection of machinery or any other kind. What is the amount which is going to be involved? This is what to be seen now, right? Whether the amount is going to be huge or small or little, This is what the materiality of the amount involved in the process. The relative proportion of the amount involved is considered in distinguishing between the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. If the amount of expenditure is material, it is treated as capital expenditure even if the expenditure does not increase the productive capacity of the asset. On the other hand, when the amount of expenditure is immaterial, it is treated as revenue even if the benefit of the expenditure extends beyond one accounting period. Some of the items of expenditure will be made huge even if it is material, procurement of assets, procurement of the properties, or establishing any kind of properties, the huge amount involved will be deriving any kind of benefit too. Such benefit may be either for less than one accounting period or maybe for more than one accounting period. So in such a case, all these items are to be classified according to the materiality of either the huge amount or the small amount involved in the procurement of assets and maintenance of the properties and also the operational activities. Let us see the classification of expenditure first. See here, the expenditure is classified into the capital expenditure, number 1, number 2, the revenue expenditure, and number 3, deferred revenue expenditure. The expenditure is classified into capital, revenue, and deferred revenue. The items of expenditure which will be spent on the acquisition of any kind of asset, property, or for the operational purpose, which will derive the benefit for more than one accounting period, will be known as capital expenditure. The items of expenditure which will be spent by a firm for deriving the benefit from out of the regular operation of the business in less than one accounting period will be known as revenue expenditure. Sometimes between these two, there will be the happening of deferred revenue expenditure, which will be recorded in the books of accounts, spent at once, will be known as the amount of expenditure paid in advance and will be treated as an asset and shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Whereas the portion of such expense which will be realized in a particular year will be transferred to the profit and loss account so as to know the original profit or true profit or loss of the particular period, and we will be deducted from the assets at the end of such year so as to have the net amount remaining in balance. Such expenditure are deferred revenue expenditure. Let us see one by one. The capital expenditure is an expenditure incurred during an accounting period and the benefits of which will be available for more than one accounting period. It includes any expenditure resulting in the acquisition of any fixed asset or contributes to the revenue earning capacity of the business. It is non-recurring in nature. It may otherwise be known as non-often expense, non-recurring expenditure, non-often, or irregular, and so on. The features of capital expenditure. Following are the features of capital expenditure. It gives benefit for more than one accounting period. The capital expenditure definitely give the benefits for more than one accounting period. It includes acquisition of fixed assets and all expenditure incurred up to the point of an asset is ready for use. It contributes to the revenue earning capacity of the business. Regularly, this kind of expenditure made by the business firms and recorded in the books of accounts will be generating the revenue and also increasing the revenue earning capacity of the business. And it is non-recurring in nature and it will not come often. It is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet as the capital expenditure in terms of, listen, furnitures, plant, equipments or buildings or machinery. So these kind of the assets. Examples: cost of acquisition of land and building, cost of acquisition of office equipment, computer and air conditioner, etc. Cost of acquisition of plant and machinery, including installation charges and trial run. These are all the examples for capital expenditure. We will see now the revenue expenditure. The expenditure incurred for day-to-day running of the business or for maintaining the earning capacity of the business is known as revenue expenditure. It is recurring in nature, or it is an often committed expense or expenditure and regular operating item. It is incurred to generate revenue for a particular accounting period. So here the generation of revenue only for particular accounting period, not for the subsequent periods. But in every period, this kind of expenses will be made by the organization, and these expenditure will be increasing the revenue of that particular period wherein it has been met out or spent out. The revenue expenditure may be incurred in relation with revenue or in relation with a particular accounting period, either related to the revenue or related to the particular accounting period. For example, the cost of purchases is a revenue expenditure related to sales revenue, and rent and salaries are related to particular accounting period. How do you say and discriminate? Do you understand this? The cost of purchases is a revenue expenditure related to sales revenue. When you procure the materials, materials will be processed and finished goods will be arrived at the end of the process, will be taken to the market for sale, and such sale will generate the revenue. Whereas the rent and salaries that are supporting the operational purpose and paid for the people working on the particular process or supporting process will be related to a particular accounting period based on the terms. Let us see the features of revenue expenditure. Following are the features of revenue expenditure. It is recurring in nature. Always these expenses are recurring in nature, and it is incurred for maintaining the earning capacity of the business. See, the capital expenditures will be spent for increasing the revenue earning capacity, whereas the revenue expenditure will be met out for maintaining such earning capacity which has been increased by using the capital expenditure. Its benefit expires in the same accounting period. It will not go beyond one accounting period. It is shown on the debit side of the trading and P&L account as revenue expenditure. Such expenses are wages, salaries, or manufacturing expenses, or even coal, gas, water, these like, or other production expense, etc. See, purchase of goods for resale, example for revenue expenditure. Administrative, selling and distribution expenses. Manufacturing expenses. These are all the examples for the revenue expenditure. Let us see now the deferred revenue expenditure. It is lying between the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Once it started, spent on a particular component will be treated as a capital expenditure until its lifetime, or for the period for which it has been spent will be more than one accounting period and will be realized at the end of every accounting period and subtracted from the main account so as to know the balance becomes zero at the end of the lifetime. So that gradually it comes to be treated as the revenue expenditure. So once it starts, it will be of capital in nature, and at the end of every year till its lifetime, it will become the revenue, and it will be treated as revenue expenditure and realized for knowing the profit or loss in the particular period. An expenditure which is revenue expenditure in nature, normally revenue expenditure, but the benefit of which is to be derived over a subsequent period or periods is known as deferred revenue expenditure. The benefit usually accrues for a period of 2 or more years. It is for the time being deferred from being charged against income. It is charged against income over a period of certain years or up to the lifetime. Such expenditure has also own its features. Following are the features of deferred revenue expenditure. It is a revenue expenditure and the benefit of which is to be derived over a subsequent period or periods. It is not fully written off in the year of actual expenditure. It is written off over a period of certain years. The balance available after writing off, that is the actual expenditure and deducted by the amount written off, or the difference between the actual expenditure and the amount written off at the end of every year till its lifetime, is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. See, the example may be of advertisement expense, say 5 lakhs rupees paid for 5 years. So take it as 5 lakhs divided by 5 years. So 1 lakh rupees per annum or per year. See, this 5 lakhs rupees spent on advertisement expense in advance for 5 years, agreed with one media. Say for 5 years, the per year expenditure will be 1 lakh. So that 5 lakhs is deferred revenue expenditure, but the 1 lakh will be written off and shown on the P&L account every year so as to match with the other revenues and expenses, and also to reveal the true picture of profit or loss. And the same amount is deducted from the total amount of 5 lakhs since the beginning, and in the first year 5 lakh rupees with 1 lakh deducted, 4 lakhs will be shown on the asset side as net amount at the end of the first year, and in subsequent period that 4 lakh rupees is to be deducted with 1 lakh rupees, and at the end of the process 5 years it will become zero. Such kind of amount of expenditure will be known as deferred revenue expenditure. The example for such expenditure is considerable amount spent on advertising and major repairs on plant and machinery. The following are the points of comparison among capital, revenue, deferred revenue, expenditure. First of all, the basis is nature. See, nature-based comparison. The nature of the capital expenditure is non-recurring always, or non-often, or non-regular, irregular. The nature of revenue expenditure is recurring in nature. So it is recurring, it is non-recurring. Whereas the nature of deferred revenue expenditure is non-recurring in nature. Come to the purpose. The purpose is another phenomena and point to compare all these expenditure. The capital expenditure is contributing to the revenue earning capacity of the business. And the revenue expenditures are the expenditures to be spent or will be carried on the day-to-day activities will be spent for carrying out the regular activities, operating activities of the business. The deferred revenue expenditure is spent or met out to get benefit for certain number of years for the operational purpose. And the third point is to know the period of benefits. Its benefit, which benefit? The capital expenditure. Its benefit is available for longer period. Definitely the capital expenditure spent will be fetching amount of revenue for more than one accounting period or for longer period till the lifetime of such particular capital expenditure. And the revenue expenditure is obtained or the benefit of which is obtained within one accounting period. The revenue expenditures like wages, salaries and other expenses will be for a set period less than one accounting period and benefit of which will also be derived in that particular accounting period. And the benefit of deferred revenue expenditure is available for more than one accounting period or till the period for which such expenditure is spent. In fact, the important point to discriminate and compare the items of these expenditure is that the effect on profit earning capacity. Whenever an organization spend money, invest huge fund, will expect the revenue. And also such kind of investment will have to increase the revenue generating capacity of the organization too. That will also be expected. So in that case, when we go for the comparison between the expenditure, the capital expenditure increases the profit earning capacity of the business. Whereas the revenue expenditure maintains the profit earning capacity. What has been created or what has been raised, what has been increased by the capital expenditure, the profit earning capacity will be maintained by the revenue expenditure by means of all revenue expenditures met out in a specific period. Whereas the deferred revenue expenditure is of benefit to the business for certain number of years for which it has been met out. The accounting treatment of all these items, capital expenditure, revenue expenditure and deferred revenue expenditure, it will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet. Accounting treatment of capital expenditure is that showing the expenditure item wise on the asset side of the balance sheet. It will be shown, what will be shown? The revenue expenditure will be shown on the debit side of the trading and profit and loss account depending on whether it is direct or indirect in nature. Some of the expenses will be directly identified with the operational purpose or identified with the production and manufacturing process, which are directly associated with items of expenditure, which are directly associated with the production and manufacturing process of an organization, which will be shown on the trading account or the manufacturing account if it is prepared. In the case of manufacturing organization, the manufacturing account is prepared. Whereas the items of expenditure which are indirectly associated with the production process or which cannot be directly identified with the production or manufacturing or the regular operation of business will be known as indirect expense, and expenditure will be shown on the debit side of P&L account. The amount written off during the year is shown on the debit side of P&L account, and the unwritten part of the portion is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet in the case of the deferred revenue expenditure. Such expenditure will be treated for more than one accounting period up to its lifetime for which or the period for which it has been agreed and spent. Then we will go for the receipts. Now classify the receipts. Classification of receipts. One is the capital receipt, the other is revenue receipt. There are two kinds of receipts. One is capital receipt, the other is revenue receipt. What is capital receipt? The receipt which is not revenue in nature, which is called capital receipt. It is non-recurring in nature and the amount received is normally substantial. It is shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. See, the items of receipt will be received irrespective of the revenue generation or any other kind will be known as, or irrespective of the recurrence. It may be of recurring at once in 1 year and after 2 years it may happen again, or in 5 years time or duration of 5 years business, it may be happening twice, may be known as non-recurring. For such items of capital receipt, you will see the example, the proceeds from issue of shares and debentures. Issue of shares and issue of debenture will will generate some kind of funds for the business purpose, which will be used as the capital fund on the procurement and maintenance of the business, procurement of assets or enhancement, extension activity or the enhancement of business operation, whatever for which any kind of receipt generated from the issue of shares and debentures are known as the capital receipt. And the long-term loan raised from bank and other financial institution. In fact, this is what very important for the business operation. There may be long-term loans as well as the short-term loans. The short-term loans will be discussed later. The long-term loan raised from bank, maybe secured loan or unsecured loan, or any kind of the pledge, mortgage or leasehold, any kind of loan raised for the business operation purpose will be known as the capital receipt. And proceeds of sale of fixed assets. Even when you sell out the fixed asset which is obsolete, such proceed will be taken only as the capital receipt, not as the revenue receipt, as it happens at once, not often. The proceeds of sale of long-term investments. This is another kind of the capital receipt. It is raised by means of selling out the long-term investments made with some kind of securities of any other organization. Receipt of special donations. This is also another kind of capital receipt. Any kind of donation received from any charities or any individual will be treated as the capital receipt. Let us go to the revenue receipt. See here, the revenue receipt which is obtained, a receipt which is obtained in the normal course of business is called revenue receipt. It is recurring in nature. The amount received is generally small. This is what very important. Amount received is generally small. Like any kind of commission even or rent or interest from securities or dividend. Right? See here, the proceeds from sale of goods is the foremost example for revenue receipt. The interest on investments received, the rent received, the dividend from investment in shares. The proceeds from sale of goods is always treated as the revenue receipt. The interest on investments in securities of other organization or the business houses or the firms will be known as the interest. Income will be treated as revenue, and rent received from our own premises or the business premises let out, and dividend from investment in shares and others. See, there are some distinctive points between the capital and revenue receipts. Or let us compare the capital and revenue receipts based on some kind of phenomena like nature. Capital receipts are non-recurring in nature. Revenue receipts are recurring in nature. The size of capital receipts amount is generally substantial, and the size of revenue receipts is generally smaller. See, capital receipts are always huge, whereas the revenue receipts are very small and little. And distribution. These amounts are not available for distribution as profits. The excess of revenue receipts over the revenue expenses can be used for distribution as profits. Let us see some of the examples of capital and revenue items. See here the capital expenditure 1, the revenue expenditure 2, the deferred revenue expenditure 3, the capital receipts 4, revenue receipts 5. Understand from this, there are various components of expenditure and receipts are given here. Understand and try to discriminate the items so that you will be able to state the expenditure, whether it is this kind of expenditure or that kind of expenditure involved in the organization. Every organization prepares and presents the financial reports, income statement and balance sheet. Whenever we go through, we need to analyze, and we require to analyze, and we should be able to analyze what are all the receipts or the kinds and what are the expenditure of kinds which are recorded and presented in terms of financial statement, income statement and balance sheet. Whether it is relevant to such kind or this, we need to differentiate and discriminate. For this purpose, we need to know first the items probably that comes under capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, deferred revenue expenditure, capital receipt or revenue receipt. See, the purchase cost of fixed assets, all fixed assets, land, building, plant, machinery, equipments. See, this like whatever be purchased, such cost of purchase will be the capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure, the maintenance expenses of fixed assets. That means maintenance charges or maintenance expense, repairs and renewals, etc. Deferred revenue expenditure, the heavy amount on advertisement, which is known as deferred revenue expenditure. The capital receipt, see, life membership fees or the lifetime fees or capital receipts. The revenue receipts, sale proceeds of goods, amount raised from sales or the services, etc. Capital expenditure, sum of purchase cost of long-term investments, here securities in which we invest money, or shares, bonds, even mutual funds, etc. The insurance premium, which may also be taken into account as revenue expenditure. The cost of major repairs on fixed assets, that comes under deferred revenue expenditure. Special donations received for the particular purpose or specific purpose will be known as capital receipt. The commission received or any kind of income received from any kind of the operating activity will be known as revenue receipt. The expenses to increase the earning capacity of fixed assets. See, expenses to increase the earning capacity of fixed assets, installation, C, or increasing the capacity or the upkeep expense are all. And postage and stationery, the revenue expenditure. Postage and stationery are the revenue expenditure. The capital receipts, loan borrowed, and revenue receipt, sale of old newspaper or sale of scrap, something like. Loan given to outsiders. Loan given to outsider is the capital expenditure which will be made out or received later. Administrative, selling and distribution expenditure which are involved in the process of operation but supporting the operation indirectly, so that these expenditure will be known as the revenue expenditure. And sale of fixed assets, the capital receipts. The rent received, the revenue receipt. Cost of acquisition, goodwill, copyright, trademark, or the kind of capital expenditure. So you may be knowing even today the cost of acquisition of goodwill, copyright, trademark. Beyond that, today the people are striving for ISO, and some of the organizations spend for maintaining their ISI or any other kind of the purpose which generates the revenue earning capacity more than one accounting period. Such expenditure will be known as capital expenditure. The advertisement expenditure, the benefit of which will accrue for one accounting period, not more than one accounting period, will be treated as revenue expenditure. The contribution towards the capital fund and the interest on investments are respectively comes under the capital receipt and revenue receipt. The contribution towards the capital fund, that increases the amount of capital fund, or the additional capital fund, or interim capital received, or interim capital raised and funded, may be known as the capital fund and capital receipt. The interest on investments in some other securities of an organization will be treated as, hopefully, the revenue receipt. Obviously, say the installation expenditure of fixed assets may be known as the capital expenditure, as we saw earlier. Payment of honorarium or any kind of benefit which is paid to some others for any kind of activity will be known as revenue expenditure. The long-term investment sold and the funds generated from out of the sale of long-term investment is known as the capital receipt. The government grants and other purpose, general purpose, for which the activity is made and revenue is generated will be known as the revenue receipt. The expenses incurred for trial run of a machinery, trial run or the setting up, for which any expenses is incurred will be known as capital expenditure. The annual subscription which is received from the members of an organization or any kind of people for the purpose for which they require to associate with the organizational activities may be known as the annual subscription and revenue receipt. Revenue expenditure. The government grants, specific purpose government grants are treated as capital receipt. The bad debts which has been treated almost or which has been written off almost, which could not be recovered, may be recovered in subsequent period or in the future course of time, may be treated as a revenue receipt. The entertainment expense will be treated as the revenue expense. Entertainment expense or any other kind of the activity which is for a specific period in less than one accounting period will be known as the expenses of revenue in nature. The amount received not in normal course of business may be treated as the capital receipt. So with this, we will be able to know the significant expenses that are coming under what kind of category, whether it is come under capital expenditure or revenue, capital receipt or revenue, or deferred revenue expenditure. See, we have seen almost. These are every kind of activity for which the amount is spent, or from out of that activity an amount is received, will be taken together and put up in the comparison table to make you understand. You will be able to understand definitely. These are all the significant items. Let us see some of the questions for practice, and we analyze whether these expenses are in connection with obtaining or connection with operation or connection with the regular purpose or irregular purpose. So such kind of questions are given now. State with reasons whether the following are capital or revenue expenditure. See here, one item is expenses incurred in connection with obtaining a license for starting the factory. See, this amount is spent in connection with the license obtaining or acquisition of the license or receipt of license for starting the factory. So what kind of expenditure it is? It will not be spent for more than one accounting period. Will it not be? Won't be understanding this? See, as you know pretty well, this is spent for one time to start the factory operation and also to obtain a license permanent. So such permanent expense will increase the revenue earning capacity of the business, revenue generating capacity, so that it is a capital expenditure since it is incurred to acquire the right to carry on business. This is what the reason we have stated now. Go to the second. A factory shed was constructed at a cost of rupees 2 lakhs. See, a sum of rupees 10,000 had been incurred in the construction of temporary huts for storing the building material. So analyze this transaction. A factory shed was constructed at a cost of 2 lakhs rupees, right? And a sum of 10,000 had been incurred in the construction of temporary hut for storing the building material. There are two items. So cost of construction of building may be the capital expenditure, right? And the cost of temporary huts, but that will also be maintained for more than one accounting period to store the items, so that both of them are relevant expenditure spent for more than one accounting period, by which the revenue earning capacity of the business will be increased, so that these expenditures are to be known as capital expenditure. Building including cost of temporary huts is capital expenditure. The third item is the overall expense, overhaul expense of second-hand machinery purchased amounted to rupees 5,000. This is a overhauling expense. When you put this expense, overhauling will be able to take up the asset for more than one accounting period or for some longer period, more than one accounting period. So that it is a capital expenditure, it is to be treated as a capital expenditure because the overall expense are incurred to put second-hand machinery in working condition to get a long-term advantage. To put working condition, any kind of expenses put together spent on a particular kind of machinery or the equipment will be considered always as capital expenditure. This is the first exercise we have known what are all the items that are to be treated, identified, analyzed with reasons as capital and revenue expenditure. Let us go to the second illustration. State with reasons whether the following are capital or revenue or deferred revenue expenditure. See here, the advertisement expenses amounted to rupees 10 crores to introduce a new product. Discuss with it, analyze. Advertisement expense amounted to rupees 10 crores. 10 crores will not be spent for 1 year. Once the advertisement expense of smaller categories spent for the media advertising or audio advertising or banner advertising or whatever be the method of advertising, the benefit of which will be derived out of it within one accounting period may be revenue. Whereas 10 crores is a huge amount. It is substantial too, so that it will be treated as the kind of expenditure at the time of which it will be treated as capital, and in a gradual subsequent period of the lifetime of such expense agreed and paid will be treated as revenue, so that between these two, this advertisement expense will be known as the deferred revenue expenditure. Shall we state the reason now? Yes. The effect of heavy advertisement expense will extend to more than one accounting period, but it does not create any property of tangible or intangible nature, and hence it is deferred revenue expenditure only. This is the answer. Second, the expenses on freight purchasing new machinery. The expenses on freight for purchasing a new machinery. When you purchase a machinery, it will have to be taken to the premises, for which a freight expenses spent. See, that freight expenses are to be added to the capital expenditure. That means the machinery expenditure. It is a capital expenditure since it is incurred up to the point of the machine which is ready and to be put in for use. The third is freight and insurance on the new machinery and cartage paid to bring the new machinery to the factory. These expenditures are also capital expenditure. Why? Cartage is paid to bring the new machinery to the factory, and freight and insurance on the new machinery will be incurred for keeping the machinery for a long term, so that these expenses are capital expenditures, and since they are incurred up to the point of the machine is ready for use, right? This is the second illustration. We got something that the deferred revenue expenditure is what, and we saw the capital and revenue expenditures too. And in this particular question, the third question, you are to state whether the following are capital or revenue or deferred revenue expenditure. See here, the carriage of rupees 1,000 spent on machinery purchased and installed. This is another exercise which reveals the 4 transactions. One is the carriage amount, the other is office rent paid, the third is the wages of 5,000 rupees paid to machine operators, and the higher charges for the use of motor vehicle hired for 5 years but paid yearly. See, how will you treat all those transactions, and how do you identify whether it becomes capital or revenue or deferred revenue expenditure? The carriage of 1,000 spent on machinery purchased and installed may be treated as a capital expenditure because it is spent for the purchase and maintenance installation of the machinery, and it will fetch the benefit for more than one accounting period. The second is the office rent paid, rupees 2,000 is revenue expenditure, because such rent may be paid for 1 month or for 2 or 3 months, but less than one accounting period, the benefit of which will be derived. The wages of 5,000 paid to machine operators, this is also coming under the category of the revenue expenditure. Do understand, the machine operators, those who are working on machine, will be paid wages or salaries. Such kind of expenses will be made out by an organization only for 1 month period in a particular accounting period. And The hire charges for the use of motor vehicle hired for 5 years. See, 5 years is coming under the category of the long-term duration and paid yearly, but treated as the revenue expenditure. This is a fourth example or illustration, and you are requested to classify the following expenses as capital or revenue. The sum of rupees 3,200 has been spent on a machine as follows. See here, the machine amount is 2,000. For additions to double the output, rupees 1,200 for repairs necessitated by negligence. The second item is the overhauling expenses of 25,000 for the engine of a motor car to get better fuel efficiency. See, classify these following expenses. Classify first. The sum of 300 has been spent respectively towards the additions to double the output 2,000, repairs necessitated 1,200. See, 2,000 spent on additions should be treated as capital expenditure, whereas that 1,200 spent on repairs should be treated as revenue expenditure. The second item, overhauling expense are incurred for the engine of a motor car to get better fuel efficiency. So this expenditure should be treated as capital expenditure, and such kind of better fuel efficiency will be derived for more than one accounting period for which these expenses were met. The very next exercise is the classification of the following expenditures and receipts as capital or revenue. Let us discuss the items one by one first. Rupees 10,000 spent as traveling expense. Please do understand the traveling expense comes under which category? Traveling expenses particularly spent for the directors to and fro on trips abroad for the purchase of fixed assets. For the purchase of fixed assets. So that it will be of conveyance expense, but not mere the smaller amount or the regular amount. It is an on-off amount of expenditure will be made out for purchasing the fixed asset and also to bring the fixed assets to our factory. See, the amount received from trade receivables during the year may also be treated. Amount received from trade receivables during the year may also be treated as a kind of receipt. But what kind? Amount spent on demolition of building to construct a large building or new building. Whenever the demolition happens, or whenever you demolish one kind of building and also to propose to construct a new building, a large building or extensive building in the same place, such amount of demolition of building will be treated as what? Insurance claim received on account of a machinery, insurance claim received on account of machinery damaged by fire will be treated as what kind of the item? See, the first item, 10,000 rupees spent as traveling expense of the directors on trips abroad for the purchase of fixed assets is capital expenditure. Amount received from trade receivables during the year is treated as revenue receipt. Amount spent on demolition of building to construct a large building on the same site is capital expenditure. Insurance claim received on account of a machinery damaged by fire. It's a kind of receipt we have received as the insurance claim because of the machinery gets damaged due to fire accident and fire claims made, fire claims lodged. Out of such fire claim, what we have received is treated as capital receipt. So these are all the items we have identified, whether it comes under the capital expenditure or revenue expenditure, capital receipt or revenue receipt. One more example we see here. There are some comprehensive transactions given. You are requested to state whether the following are capital or revenue items. See, rupees 5,000 spent towards additions to buildings. 5,000 spent, 5,000 rupees has been spent towards addition to building. So building addition. So building addition or building extension, which will be treated as what? And also state the reason. Then second-hand motor car purchased for rupees 30,000 and paid rupees 2,000 as repairs immediately. See, here second-hand motor car is purchased for 30,000 rupees and you have paid 2,000 for its repairs immediately. So how would you treat? The second-hand motor car is a long-term item for which upkeep expense 2,000 is paid, means upkeep of the motor car and to put in operation or run for more than one accounting period or for long run. The third is rupees 10,000 was spent on painting the new factory. 10,000 was spent on painting the new factory is just only a maintenance of the factory building, but even otherwise such maintenance will be for more than one accounting period, not the painting will be often. So that how would you treat painting expense and state the reason. Cartage on the new machine rupees 150 and the erection charges rupees 200. How would you treat the freight and cartage on the new machine to purchase and bring the new machine to the factory? The erection charges rupees 200 of the new machine and lost 150 rupees spent on repairs before using a second-hand car purchased recently. Let us come to the answers and also state the reason. Rupees 5,000 spent towards additions to buildings is capital expenditure because the capital expenditure, that means a building expenditure or extension of building expenditure, is always treated as capital in nature. The second-hand motor car purchased for 30 and the repairs paid immediately for 2,000, totally the 32,000 should be treated as capital expenditure, as it is going to be operated in business and the motor car to be put in use for more than one accounting period or for long term. Rupees 10,000 was spent on painting the new factory should be treated as a capital expenditure because it is spent for the upkeep of the new factory. And freight, cartage, erection charges 150 and 200, 150 and 200. So here 150 and 200, so totally 350 rupees are treated as capital expenditures. Rupees 150 being spent on repairs before using a second-hand car purchased recently. So being it is an expense to bring the asset in usable condition, it is also to be treated as upkeeping expenditure or capital expenditure. So with this we come to know all the items of capital and revenue, and we are able to identify the transactions and the expenditure and receipts and make out the reasons for such kind of expenses that are spent out for the business purpose. So with that, I hope you would be able to understand the difference between the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure, also deferred revenue expenditure, and you would be able to compare the revenue receipts and the capital receipts, and you will be able to identify the reasons for such expenses, whether it has been met out for the purpose of only one accounting period or for more than one accounting period, and what are all the kinds of transactions that are coming under the capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, or deferred revenue expenditure, or capital and revenue receipts respectively. And I hope that you would have understood every phenomena that are discussed earlier under the capital and revenue items. Whenever you go and happen to see any kind of income statement or balance sheet or any other substantial financial statements or the supplements to financial statements, you should have identified first the items that are capital or revenue in nature, whether it is a receipt or the payment or receipt or expenditure, irrespective of which, you should have identified first. And you should have analyzed the transaction of the nature of such expenditure as well as the receipt. And you should also discriminate, or you should also be able to discriminate the items of the capital and revenue. With that, I wish you all the best and good luck.